Hey David, how are you?
Fine, how you doing, John?
Doing great, thank you.
My musical upbringing, I played the trumpet when I was a kid. It's funny, a lot of bass players seem to play the trumpet first. I don't know what that is, but I noticed that. Started playing bass, electric bass, when I really got into the rock and roll. So things like Roy Orbison, music like that. And when the Beatles came along, that was it. You know, so we formed a band, and we had all our bands together in that area, from Amherst, Massachusetts.
Oh yeah.
5 college area, and a lot of fraternity houses. So we had a lot of opportunity to play. And we got a band together, and within 6 months we could play Louie Louie well enough to play the fraternity parties. And I had to know the dirty words to Louie Louie.
I was going to say, do you know the words to Louie Louie? I don't think anybody does.
No, well, there's a lot of different words, but the fraternity boys say, sing the dirty words, we're going to throw your equipment in them. So we ended up opening up for a lot of acts. Paul Butterfield, Jefferson Airplane, a lot of groups.
Did you get to hang with Jack Cassidy?
So I did get to hang with Jack Cassidy, and it was a kind of good hang. He was a little quiet and a little reclusive, but I did actually talk to him a little bit. And all the stories are true. And a lot of we opened up for a lot of people. Rock acts, James Taylor too, and blues acts. So I got a real experience doing that, and a lot of the bands there. It's almost like a real community. And about when I was 18, I got a string bass, and I just fell in love with the whole physicality of the string bass. I love the smell of it, the feel of it. And I got a bass from Bill Bloss, who's not in the Philharmonic. And I took lessons in Springfield, Mass. Classical, bowing.
Samandel and the bow and all that?
Samandel and the bow.
French bow or German bow?
French. My Samandel book, I think, cost $4.95. Which I was joking with Ron Carter that the price of the Samandel book you bought tells you how old you are.
That's right.
I think it was $1.95 when he bought it.
Well, what took you to New York from the Boston area?
I started studying with Dave Holland, privately. I got to be a good friend of his, and he moved to New York. He was living at that time in Woodstock, and he moved down to New York City, 1974, I think, 73. And so I moved down to New York to study with him and get odd jobs. And as soon as I moved down there, he went to Europe for 6 months and asked me if I'd take over his loft. So I stayed at his loft and watched his dog, took his phone calls.
But you moved there to study with Dave, so did you have aspirations of making it in New York City?
I did.
As what, as a jazz cat?
Yeah, yes, as a jazz cat. I played a lot of electric, so I was actually more competent in electric. And I did things like I played actually some sessions with S.C. Satterfield. But my reading chops were not that good. And I wasn't putting as much time in because I was working so much at Traeger's. And so I was doing 2 things and not realizing I really needed to focus on one or the other. And I finally decided to focus on luthier work. I think it was a wrong idea, but I said, well, I'm never going to play like Dave Holland, so why shall I keep doing this? But I think that's a faulty statement or conception. Because I think that if you really want to do it, you're going to do whatever you're able to do. But I'm not unhappy with it.
Well, you've made a good success of it. Tell me about your company. What do you do?
Repair and make string instruments.
Not just basses?
Well, that's a good question. I started with just basses, but primarily now we do cello and bass. That's what I do. I still work on the instruments a lot.
Okay, well, the website is for bass players only, so you can't talk about cellos.
No, we can't. Okay. Well, they're just little basses.
And not just the instruments, but the bows too, right? And
yeah. Well, what happened, I started making trunks. Anyway, I left Traeger's and I opened my own shop in a loft downtown Tribeca. I realized that there's a need for sound, better sound. So we met Ben Steinberger, who was developing his bass, his electric upright bass. And so he came down to talk to me about that. And we became friends, and we just really immediately, just socially and idea-wise and everything, we got friends and ideas, and we seemed to work really well together. So we designed this pickup, which we called the Realist. And that was our first huge step in becoming a manufacturer, as opposed to just a guy who works for X amount an hour.
What all do you have now in your line of things that you make?
We have a new pickup called the Lifeline, which is coming out, which is another pickup. And the line, what we make, we have a whole line of pickups for a notice-only, bass-only thing. We're making for cello and violin and also world music instruments, kora, ouds, things like that. So the
pickups or the instruments themselves?
Okay. So we make the pickups in New York in our premises at 36 Walker Street. And because of that, we can custom make these things. We do a lot of custom pickups. We do some harps for jazz harpists, or for we do individuals kind of thing. Tony Triska, the famous banjo player, with Ray Brown, Ron Carter, Gary Carr, and the big really. The word I'm looking for, the people who are really the top of the line. The people not stars are not the important thing, but the real pioneers. People really creating new stuff. And working with them, that's how you learn so quickly. Being in New York, I was exposed to a lot of Red Mitchell.
Red Mitchell?
Yeah.
Well, he did not have a conventional bass, as I understand.
Well, he was tuned in fifths.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. And then, which is actually Joel Corrington does that. There's a whole fifth tune movement, which makes a lot of sense in some ways. But
well, what's next? What lies ahead for David Gage and for your company?
That's a good question. We've expanded now. We've got about 14 employees. We're going to continue to do the repair work. We've had workshops. We hope to get back into that again, because I really love the community kind of involvement in doing workshops and having kids come in and study that. We're supposed to be expanding a little about just our manufacturing. Again, like I said, we have a new pickup line out, which we're doing. And we're hoping to start a little subsidiary called Gotham. What is it? Gotham Accessories. That should be something we're just because what we're doing is we're finding things, good products that we think consumers should know about.
Well, keep us posted, and we wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you, John.
You've got a great track record, and we wish you nothing but continued success in the future.